Hello and welcome. Today let's talk about some updates going on in Monster Hunter Now. Monster Hunter Now will be receiving its spring updates, which has a lot of fun new features and new monsters. These will be showing up in March 14th, so just a few days away, but some of those new features have already started being placed into the game. So one of the features that most people have probably seen now is they have increased the amount of loadouts you have. Originally, there were only 5 loadouts, 4 alternates and 1 default. However, one of the big problems is they have a lot of different elements and a lot of different weapons. So there's a huge amount of combinations, and because of that, you ended up having to sacrifice what type of loadout and weapon you wanted to use. You're either going to be using a fire sword combination, or you might be having a bow with a part breaking combination. But yeah, you were very limited. So because of that, they're now upping it so that now you can have 10 loadouts. Finally, I don't have to sacrifice or have to waste people's time. I can just jump straight into the match. So I'm very happy with that. They are finally bringing over the Charge Blade. The Charge Blade is a sword shield axe combination. Pretty much the way it works is you use the sword and shield to attack the monsters until you build up a gauge. Once the gauge is full, then you can convert it into an axe mode and unleash an elemental fury, or it can really increase the amount of damage that you can have being done to a monster. I have a feeling that this will actually be very useful, especially when you're fighting these monsters with very specific weaknesses. Here's the hoping that the Charge Blade actually utilizes all of the different elements. We'll have to see. Speaking of gear and such, another update that they'll be having released is layered armor. One of the silly things about Monster Hunter is that all the parts that you put together to make your armor, they all show up on your character, so you can tend to look like a silly person. Me personally, I like the armors to look like one set, not like I got dressed in a tornado. And while I don't know much about if they're bringing over the coloring aspect, now what you can do is upgrade your armor to level 6. You can then start layering it, and then you can kind of build an armor that you make it look the way you want it to look. I have a lot of armors I need to level up. So that's in regards to the equipment side of things. So what about the monster side of things? Most of the ice creatures will be going away for a while. So anyone who has been fighting the Barioth or the little, I forgot his name, but the little guy, the little fluffy guy, they will be disappearing till next winter. So yeah, be sure to finish fighting them before too long, because otherwise, you're going to have to wait to level their stuff up. In place of the Barioth, we have 3 new monsters showing up. We have the Odo Organ, the Zitsu Yaku, and the Devil Hope. All 3 can be found out and about within the environment. To find the Odo Gorgon, you have to go around and look in the swamps. He is going to be a swamp monster. He will bring in a new alignment called Bleeding. What it pretty much means is that if Odo Gorgon hits you and you start bleeding, then every time you attack, you will lose health. So yeah, watch out for that. For the Yitsu Yaku, they will be in the deserts. One thing this angry boy will do is he will stun you with a bright flash, incapacitating you for a short while. Likely his equipment will have a stun effect on it, or help increase the amount of stunning, which will be quite fun. So what about the Devil Hope? Well, this kind of goes into the second feature that's being released in this spring update, and that is invasions. This is a brand new feature that's coming out. And what this does is you'll have territories with large monsters will suddenly be invaded, requiring you to fight all the monsters that showed up. This is where we will find the Devil Ho in these invasions. So yeah, expect a lot more monsters to be showing up in areas. But yeah, you can find these 3 out and about in the map, and they all will be coming with their own special equipment, skills, and weapons. There are a couple new skills that will be showing up within the equipment. Latent Power, Quick Work, and Status Sneak Attack. They did not explain how these skills will be working, but it'll be quite nice to see how we can use them for building stronger loadouts. So the last thing they're going to do is they're going to expand the item box. They're expanding it by 250 units. And you might be thinking, well, is it really necessary? And I would have to argue, kinda, because while 5,500 is quite a lot of free space, these resources, they stack up very quickly, and money is a very limiting factor in this game unless you pay for it. But because of that, you can end up resulting in having an overflow of items. So you're constantly tossing stuff. So this increase in the item box is quite welcome. The last few things in the update list are basic things like stuff that you can buy. If you want to, you can get a Season 1 pack and a Season 1 Premium pack. But yeah, this update is looking quite fun. I can't wait for March 14th to roll around. But alright, happy hunting everybody, happy hunting, and everybody have a good one. See you out there fighting monsters.